This is the Life's Journey with Best Friends podcast. Listen as two best friends for over 40 years share our experiences, insights, and unique stories. Sydney Barucci is a licensed massage therapist, structural integration therapist, stretch therapist, and Reiki master practitioner, specializing in myofascial bodywork, manual lymphatic drainage, and abdominal massage.
Her work is highly holistic, and she always individualizes every session, utilizing a multitude of bodywork modalities to meet her clients' needs and get the best results when working with them to achieve their long-term health goals.
She can also assist you in diving into deeper healing realms using intentional and intuitive movement, sound healing, meditation, inner child honoring, mirror work, breath work, Bowen therapy, and the emotion code.
Her practice is located at 100 Trade Center in Woburn, Mass. She's open 7 days a week, and you can make an appointment with her at 781-999-3612.
Or also reach out to her by Gmail at sydneybarucci@gmail.com. That's SYDNEYBARRUCCI@gmail.com. Also, check her out at bysydney.glossgenius.com or on Instagram at Sydney Barucci. Well, hey BFFers, welcome to our podcast. I am Noelle.
And I'm Diana.
And this is Life's Journey with Best Friends. Thank you for joining us. This is now episode 61.
How do you keep track of them? I don't know.
Julie does.
I don't pay attention.
I know. You just want to talk, and I get it. No, I've said, I don't listen to the podcast anymore just because I
don't either.
I don't like hearing myself.
I don't like to listen to myself either.
Okay.
So that's why I don't listen to it.
Yeah. It's, so I get so I'm my own worst critic, and I'm just okay, I'm trying to make sure that this is just casual. This is just me. And then when I listen to it, I'm like, well, why the hell did you say that? Or why did you say it that way? I'm like, well, that's just because who I am,
Right. I mean, and that's how we talk, and
right.
That's how we sound, and
right.
No one likes the sound of their own voice, I guess.
No. So, why are you bouncing around? What the hell are you doing?
I was just moving the computer.
Oh.
Trying to get comfortable and be about the same size as you. I felt like I was littler, so I kind of just pulled the computer closer.
You are littler than me.
But you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On the screen.
No, I get it.
I'm littler than everybody, basically.
It's so funny. So I have always said to Dave,
height-wise.
Yeah, I've always said to Dave, I'm the tallest out of my friends. And they all cracked up because they're the whole family, they're all taller than me. And he forgets that. And then when he sees me with you guys, like when we were in South Carolina the last time, and it was you and Julie, and he was looking at the pictures, he's like, you are so much taller than them.
I didn't realize that. I didn't realize you were the tallest one.
I am. Well, Andrea, but out of
right.
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't realize Chrissy wasn't as tall.
Nope. You guys are real shorter than me. Yeah, makes me feel good.
It's so funny.
So what's your word of the day or your phrase of the day? Do you have one?
You were supposed to remind me that I needed to do that.
That's okay. So next week he'll remind you. This one can pertain to both of us.
Okay.
You're not going to like it, but so it's moist January. Because we're not dry. We're going to do dry January, and both of us had a day that we drank, and it's not totally, so it's moist January.
It's so funny because I was thinking about that today. I'm just going to call mine a blip day.
A blip day. Okay.
I'm going to just plug along. I'm only had that one time, and I'm going to try to just
wait a minute.
Go back.
I love that. A blip day.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Nice invention. Oh, good word. There's your word of the day. Yay!
Yeah, no, it was just a little blip and so I'm
Yeah,
just right back to myself.
me too. I did the same thing. I was like the next day I was like, yep, boom, I'm back. I'm good. It was all good. So
Yep.
all right,
Sometimes
awesome.
you just need to let loose.
Yeah, a little bit. So that was good.
Yeah.
Um, so we've got some current events that you are dying to talk about. I have no idea what you're going to talk about.
I
So
know I have so many things floating in my head, but I just wanted to do a little housekeeping on the Karen Reed stuff. Coming up in April is the retrial.
okay,
I don't know how many days, it wasn't in a row, it was here, there, and sporadic, but it was all with this one witness that the defense had.
yep,
And her name was Dr. Marie Russell, and
okay.
she's a dog bite expert. And the prosecution, she testified last time, they allowed it. Um, and the prosecution, because they have a new attorney, he wanted to get her testimony, didn't wanted to get her wiped off the list.
Yeah,
So the poor woman who's retired and older, um, had to sit up on the stand while he berated her. He wasn't nice at all. He was an asshole. And they just came out with it. The judge just came out with her ruling on it. And I was so sure she was going to rule against her being able to testify
yeah,
because she was a complete bitch in the hearings as well. Like I know we talked about this, but every time there was an objection, she overruled it. It was
right,
like crazy.
right.
But so she is going to allow Marie, Dr. Russell, to testify, which I'm very excited about.
Yeah,
Um, I'm hoping that, it just comes down to she's found not guilty.
right, right. Well, because I mean, I'm no expert, but damn, those look like some, dog attack wounds to me. But
He was
who am
trying
I?
to say it was the plastic from the tailgate, and I don't understand how it could dig in like that.
No, not at that rate of speed. And also, there would be plastic in the wounds, right?
They said there was stuff on you
And
can't
no, they
trust
never proved
anything
anything.
because
No,
they fucking collected we talked about this. They
yeah,
collected the evidence in red Solo cups, so
right.
that just irritates me. But yeah, so I'm happy. I'm very happy that she has um allowed her
Good.
to be a witness for the
Yeah,
defense.
that's great. Awesome. Awesome.
Yeah, and my second thing is, and we talked about this the last podcast as well, is I'm a huge General Hospital fan,
Hmm.
and Dr. Monica Quartermain just passed away.
I saw that and I was like, I don't know that woman's name. But then when they showed her picture, they said her real
Leslie
name. And when they
Charleston or
showed her picture,
something
I was
like.
like, I know who that is.
Yeah. And did we touch upon like how many real life actors from that show have recently passed away?
No, no. It's
It's
really?
it's like kind of sketchy and scary. Like, I don't know. Starting in like 2022, I believe, there was a, an actress called her name is Sonia Eddy, and she was Epiphany Johnson on General Hospital. And she went in the hospital and then never came out. And that was in 2022. Young, not very old.
Okay.
I would say like around our age, I believe. I don't know her exact age. And she died, right?
But did you find out what she died from?
It was complications from something,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
I mean, she was sick and she was overweight, so it could have been a whole bunch of stuff.
Uh-huh.
But it's not that what they died of, it's how many have died.
Gotcha. Okay. I'm following you.
Okay. And so then in 23, um, we had Billy Miller who played Drew. Um, he died. We had Tyler Christopher in 23. They're all young. Like Billy Miller, I believe, is younger than us. Tyler Christopher is younger than us. He died. He played Nicholas Cassadine. Um, Jacqueline Zeman died.
Oh, I forgot
She was
about
about
that.
our
Bobby.
age or a little older.
Yep, yep.
Bobby, she died. Um, and then this the actor, his name is Johnny Wachter. He played Brando, and he was actually killed in
Yikes.
23, and he was only 37. Somebody was stealing something out of his car, and he approached them and they killed him.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's like, let's see, one, two, three, four, one, two, three, four, five. I don't know. And now six. I don't, it just seems like so many, and they weren't older.
Do you think there's like a curse on General Hospital or
I
something now?
don't know. I,
So you
sorry, go
do
ahead.
think there is a curse on General Hospital? You think it's just, I don't know.
No, I just think it's it. I mean, maybe they're cursed, but it's just like such a weird thing that so many young people, actors on one show have died.
Yeah, yeah.
I feel like, I mean, it's just an awful coincidence, but it's just like it, you know, in 23, I was like, oh my God, not another one. And then, kept happening, and I found it. And then I found it weird, oddly weird or weirdly odd. What is it? Oddly weird or weirdly odd?
I think it doesn't matter. It's the same thing.
So,
You're weirdly odd.
thank you. And then now, what made it come back to my mind was when Monica just died,
Yeah,
right?
right.
This past week or last week. So I was like, Jesus, another one.
Yeah. How about in 2024? Did anyone die in 24?
Um, I'd have to look that up, but I think more, I don't remember any in 24.
Well,
So,
hopefully 2025 doesn't start another, cycle of
right?
all the
If I
deaths
worked
again,
on that show, I'd be like, I better leave now before I friggin' die.
right? Not just my character being killed off,
Right?
but
For
me
real
being
life.
killed off,
It's
right?
for real life.
Yeah, that is a little, it's weird.
I mean, there were just so many of them.
Yeah, yeah, that is a lot from one show. You're right. And then it's not like there's like thousands of characters on that show.
And it wasn't like they were gone for a long time. Like Billy Miller hadn't been gone long. Tyler Christopher had come and gone a few times. Bobby was on it. Epiphany was still on it when she died. Monica was still on it. Brando, I think they had just killed him off on the show.
But that still doesn't mean anything. They
I
can
don't
always come back.
remember. He might have still been on the show as well.
Yeah, but they can always come back as their evil twin or something. So
I know.
yeah, it does.
Right. But
Yeah,
it's just, kind of weird coincidences.
yeah.
Again, oddly weird, weirdly oddly
Right.
odd.
Okay.
Weirdly oddly.
I love that. We can talk about follow up on the California wildfires. I
Oh,
cannot
yes,
believe
I did want to talk about that too.
what how are they still going on. I'm not
And
laughing. I'm just like in like, oh my gosh, how is that? It's still
all the
burning.
so all the people that have lost their houses.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't care who they are. It's
No.
like all your belongings
Hmm.
gone.
Yeah.
You know what I
So
mean? If there were pictures, not everybody has pictures nowadays because of the iPhone
right.
and everything's in the cloud, but like our age, our generation or older, you have your kids' pictures
Yeah.
and, all gone.
Yeah.
Gone.
All the baby pictures and pictures of your parents or your wedding or whatever, like all that stuff.
Or your wedding dress or whatever you
Yeah.
had.
I was thinking about that, and it made me think like if you have prints like, photos on your wall that aren't digitized, you should probably take pictures of them now. Like take them out of the frame so you don't get the glare. Take a picture of it so you have a digital version. So if you
Just
lose
in
them,
case.
yeah, because I did that with my parents' wedding album. I digitized all the pictures from the album. And I'm glad I did because the album got ruined.
Some of my stuff that I actually printed out is still in Walgreens at the,
You never picked it up.
yeah.
You still
From
have
how
strips,
long
negative
ago?
strips.
Oh my God, remember the negatives?
Oh,
The negative
Remember
strips,
going to
yeah.
the photo mart in the middle of Stewart's parking lot and
Yeah.
dropping it off and getting so excited when it was like a week later and your pictures would come in?
so one of my
And they were all crappy.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And you had to wait to see them. It wasn't like you could
Yeah, no
redo it
idea
right
if it
then.
came out
no,
good.
no. And one of my nephews just started listening to the podcast a little bit after Christmas. And the only thing he was like kind of working his way backwards. And I was like, no, don't do that. Start with the earlier episodes because, it was.
We get better with time.
Yeah.
I was going to say they're worse. They get worse that way.
Yeah, yeah. But he said, I never knew that there were like photo places like in the middle of parking lots. I'm like, yeah. I'm like, that was such a thing. You just drove up, dropped it off, and yeah. And he's like, oh my gosh, no, I had no idea.
You know what? You know what I miss? Double exposure prints.
Oh, right.
Like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were so cool. You're always like, ooh, look at that. Like
I
a
remember
ghost
when you would
was in the
try to
picture.
actually take a selfie, and you were like, do you think we're in the fit? Do you think we're in the camera? And then you get it, and
Yeah,
it was like
no
your
idea.
eyeball.
Like there.
Yeah.
the
I have a
Polaroid.
few pictures of us like that.
I'm
Remember
sure
the Polaroid?
Yeah.
I just bought Bree one for Christmas.
Yeah, they came back. A lot of
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
It's a smaller little picture.
Yeah. They're super cute. We went to a wedding,
That was pretty cool.
I think last summer or the summer before, I can't remember. And you took a picture and you put it in the book and signed it.
That's what they did at Lauren's engagement party.
Yeah, that's
Oh,
I
And
love
then
it.
you wrote a little
Yeah.
saying or whatever.
That's awesome.
I like that.
Do you know what I remember with cameras is my dad had a camera. It was color and you would pull, it wasn't a Polaroid, but you'd pull the film out. And
Yes.
you have to wait, you'd turn a little timer and then you'd pull it back and it'd be all like
Oh, yeah.
chemically or whatever, and then it would form it,
I
Yeah.
remember that.
I do
And it
remember
had a
those.
little tab on it and you could
you kind of pulled it back and then you took
Yes.
that out.
Yep.
God, that's so old.
I know, right? That's crazy.
Our kids probably think we had pictures where they had the flash that exploded.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
The old timey camera.
Hold still. Oh my God, that's so funny.
Well, do you remember the flash bulbs that were like this tall and it had like
Yeah, they
10 of
stacked
them
on
and you'd have
top
to
of it.
flip it? Yeah. Or the little one that would turn.
A little
Oh,
cube. Or
yeah,
you
the
had a row
little
of cubes, remember? And it would go.
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
God,
The
we are
cube.
dating ourselves.
The
That's-
cube of the flash. That was crazy. Stick it in.
And we thought the disposable cameras were really cool.
Right?
Oh, gosh. The best camera, though, was the disc. Do you remember that really
I
thin
was
one?
just going to say the same thing, the disc camera.
Yeah, and it only took like 10 pictures, which was
Yep.
so stupid. Yeah.
Oh, I think I do remember that now.
Yeah.
I think I had one and lost it in Disney.
Probably.
I lost something there, a camera. I just don't remember if it was that it wasn't like a 35 millimeter camera.
No.
It was
yeah.
something like the circle one or whatever. I don't.
Yeah. You
Or
lost
it was
a
like
lot
a
of them.
flat one. Huh?
Yeah, flat. It was a disc
Yeah.
camera. You lost your keys. Do you remember all the keychains you used to have for one house key? And you lost the whole freaking thing.
It wasn't just me. You had a ton of keychains.
But I didn't lose it. I'm saying you
Oh,
lost
okay.
that. You lost money when we went to the mall.
I did.
Yeah. You would lose shit all the time. It was babysitting money. I think we babysat for the porno couple.
Oh, really? And I lost it?
And you lost it. We were taking the bus and walking, and it
Fucker. Someone probably stole it from me.
It could be, but I think you lost it probably.
I'm sure I did. I lose everything. I
I
still do.
see.
My kids are like, I'm like, have you guys seen my phone? And they're
Which,
like, Jesus Christ, how do you lose that thing every 2 minutes?
well, you lost your glasses a couple weeks ago for 2 days.
I saw a picture of a burnt up Oscar.
Oh, really?
I think someone said it was AI generated, and it kind
Huh.
of bummed me out because I was
Well,
like, why are people AI generating things to make me feel bad?
maybe. Yeah, who knows? To get attention, to get you feel bad, to get your money. There's a lot of things that happen. Like Julie had texted us a couple of weeks ago about, hey, this is a scam. If you get a message on your phone saying that you owe for
Easy
the
pay,
tolls, yeah,
easy pay.
easy pay. It's a scam. Well, we have an issue that so Ashley's constantly going through and we keep getting all the bills in the mail. I get a text, and so it's a common thing. I get that text that Julie was saying. Now, one, she had said it to me, thank God, but two, the car is not in my name. It's under Dave. So how would they have gotten my phone number? And I'm
How
like,
did they
okay,
get all our info? Like, how
right.
did they get our cell phone?
Oh, that stuff is out there. Like, if for a long time ago, people would never give away their phone number because they didn't want to be called or their email address. But now everyone does it like, oh, get a 10% coupon, you know,
Mm. That's
sign
for
up to
your
win this
email,
thing.
isn't it? I guess not, though. But
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess because I'm not tech savvy or anything like that, I just don't understand how data breaches happen. How do how are people that smart that they program into a database and just can grab all your shit?
Well, that's the evil in this world. Those are the people that can do it, and they're not using their talents for good. They're using it for evil because they're making boatloads of money. That's
I
what
think we need to go back to paper. No one can steal it.
I don't want to go back to paper, man. I wouldn't mind going back to a flip phone. I really wouldn't mind that. Um, but no one makes them anymore. And I don't want a jitterbug phone. I'm not like 90 years old that I need big numbers or anything. That's not what I'm saying. But it would be less distracted because, like, look at you. You keep looking at your damn phone.
I know because Julie's texting me. No, I'm sorry. He's sending me a million texts. I'm sorry.
No, I understand. I'm just giving you shit because I know that whatever. But
Um,
no, it would be less of a distraction if we didn't do it. But then what would we do? We would have to wait and find out who starred in that movie that you can't remember the person's name. That would drive everyone fucking crazy. Whereas now you're just like, IMDb, I mean, in the middle of
no,
the show.
I'm not saying do away with technology, but maybe like, I mean, I know it makes everybody's life easier, but like work stuff, I don't know. Like all your important information is in a computer on a database in every fucking company,
Yeah,
right?
right.
Everybody has all our stuff.
Everywhere. It's not, yeah. So years and years ago, when Snapchat first came out, I was so sure. I'm like, they're not doing this for entertainment. Someone in the government owns this, and they're doing it so that they can do facial recognition,
Right.
of everyone, because everyone was using it, whether you were a law-abiding citizen or you weren't, and this way they had all of the records in there. I'm pretty sure that'll come out someday. I don't care what anyone says, because how
Well,
do they have it? Like, if you have it in an airport, how do they know who you are? Oh, you just walked through for the first time. How do they know your name? Well, because you were on damn Snapchat. That's how.
yeah,
So,
that's
to get back to that, I think sometimes I feel bad to say this, but I think people do that. Like, that person probably didn't, their house didn't burn in the fire, and they're just putting that out there to say, hey, my house burned down. Help me, give me some money.
they're
That's
already they're already arrested a ton of looters, which is you're kicking people while they're fucking down, man.
Right?
Really?
There's a special place in hell for those kind of people, let me tell you.
Right? I mean, what can you get from a house that's burned? Oh, you're gonna go in the one that didn't burn and you're gonna take everything out of it?
Yeah. I
God, that's just so irritating to me.
I know, and I think, what would your mother say? Like, not your mother, their mother. Like, what would their
Right.
mother be like? What are you doing? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, how are you proud of yourself? Like, what the hell is that?
Right? I mean, like these poor people are losing everything, and you're going, if they by chance survive their house or
Right?
survived, there you're going in and stealing all this shit.
Yeah, pieces of shit is all they are.
Yeah.
That's it.
I,
Yep.
I mean, I feel bad. Everybody's like, oh, the celebrities, they're rich, they're rich, they're rich. But I mean, that's their memories and like some of their houses where their kids grew up. And
Yeah.
I I I, I mean, I feel bad. No one should have to go through that.
No. No, I agree with you, and I don't. I honestly don't like the idea that they're saying that this celebrity's house burned down, that celebrity, but there are people that want to know that information. For me, I don't care.
Me,
I know, but I'm like, why not talk about, the Jane Does and the John Smiths and
I
them
know.
too and them,
No, I
but no one
agree.
cares about them, which is unfortunate. So hopefully they can, build
I
back.
care about them.
Oh no, I do, but I'm saying that people, not enough people care about them for them to be shown on TV.
Well, celebrities sell news,
Yeah,
so
exactly.
that's
Yeah.
that's why.
Well, it comes down to the mighty buck. Absolutely. Capitalism at its finest, regardless of what's going on.
Right.
So, anyways, yeah. But I just can't believe it's still burning. I can't believe that they haven't been able to do something. And someone did mention, why don't they use the ocean water? And the response was, well, the ocean water can destroy stuff because it's of the salt and
Well,
everything. And I thought to myself, well, who cares? The houses are already destroyed. But then I'm like, oh, wait a minute. They're talking about the insides of the fire trucks and the hoses and that type of stuff. They really
oh,
can't.
okay. I
But
thought
I
you
mean,
were, will it
yeah,
ruin all that?
I don't know, but I don't know why they wouldn't be able to like put water through it afterwards to rinse it out. I don't
Just
know.
scoop it up and dump it out. Get it out.
Well, some of it, I mean, I know because the winds are so bad, they're not able to do all of that scooping out, and that's why.
Wind. Yeah. They were having massive winds today, right?
Yeah, it's like up to 70 miles an hour. So there's nothing you
How's
can do
that?
but
What is happening?
just stand there. So there was a lot of underbrush and tinder and um stuff that hadn't been cleaned out. They hadn't spent the money to do that. And basically it was just like as soon as it sparked, it ignited and it just went whoosh. So think about a dry Christmas tree when around.
No, no, I get that.
Yeah,
I
at Christmas when they do, the big bonfires and stuff, it's the same thing, but it's been
and then it
collecting
just
for
the wind
years.
carried the embers
Yep, the embers. Yeah.
and God, that's just nuts to me.
Well,
You see the people trying to protect their homes, they're wetting them down, they don't want to leave them, they're thinking they can help.
yeah, I would probably think the same thing too, or at least try enough to be able to do that, just to be like, okay, I'm going to try and save my home. So the salt water, it can damage the firefighting equipment, like I said. It's also harmful to plant life and soil, which I get, but at the same time, so isn't fire.
Yeah.
um, and the
I
salt, one of the best ones. So it's salt water has a limit. Has excuse me, salt water has limited cooling and smothering capabilities for effective fire extinguishing. I didn't know that. That's who would know that? Like that's crazy. It's you think it's water, so why can't it be used, right?
yeah, that whole thing the fire, the wind, whatever, the water. Now, tell me if this is true or not, because this is what I heard, and I'm not 100% it's true. I'm
Okay.
hoping it's not. They were saying that some of the hydrants were without water, and
No,
they were
sorry, go ahead.
and they were so low on their water supplies because they, I guess, the rainwater, whatever, they were sending it into the ocean for the smelts or something. Did you hear that?
All right. So I can't talk about the smells. You mean like the fish smells?
Yeah. Yes,
Uh,
they were using it for smelt breeding or something.
okay. I can't talk about that, but I can talk about the hydrants. So they were low because they were trying to use so much water in different areas, so all at the same time. The pressure dropped. Now, what happens too is because California is hilly in Lake Palisades, that area, so the water pressure up here would be higher than compared to down here. So as the
Okay.
water's coming out up here, down here, there's no pressure. So they were kind of like drying out because the upper levels were taking all of the water and then the pressure wasn't going down. I don't know if I'm explaining that correctly, but that had a lot to do with it. And then just because they were using so much water, it was gone and they're in it. This is supposed to be their rainy season and it's not. And they're
Yes,
down
for
a
the
bunch of
drought.
water there too. So, yeah, there was a lot of different factors, and it was, kind of what you said last week. It was like that um what did you say, that the word storm? No.
What?
Oh, you were saying the perfect storm. So it was like the perfect storm,
Oh,
everything all at once happening all at the same time. And it just
I also think there was a lot of corruption and mismanagement. They're saying that led to the running out of the water in the Palisades wildfire.
well,
The
that's what
hydrants are
I've
down.
heard that as well too. I don't follow that. I don't understand it, so I don't really want to talk. I can't talk too much about it. But how does corruption have anything to do with water? I don't know. I'm sorry. Julia sent us some notes, and I
Yeah,
can't.
so that's
There
what I'm
it is.
going to read to you right now. The
Okay,
water
go.
shortage was the result of years of mismanagement of LA's water system, including a federal indictment of a leader in a high profile resignations. There was, as well as major operational problems that drained reserves too quickly. The Pacific Palisades fire, whipped up by hurricane force Santa Ana winds, destroyed more than 1,000 homes and businesses. Now, this was a few days ago, so I'm sure it's gotten
Yeah,
worse.
right.
It spread 16,000 acres.
Yeah. So
And it's also saying that the citizens or residents are outraged because these conditions attributed to the fire and in the blazes in LA.
right, because the water was not available in LA
Right.
due to
70,000 people were told to evacuate their homes in LA. Imagine that.
no, I can't. How do you? We're we're in the richest country in the world. How is there no water to put out a fire? So these people, now that you're saying that there's operational problems and mismanagement, what is going to happen to them? Oh
I
my
hope
god!
something. I mean, they need to be held liable.
I
Like
would
it,
think, yeah,
10
I would
people
think
have
that they
died.
sure they probably are going to face prosecution. Well, that too, I'm
I was
sure.
just gonna
Uh,
say, I think a little bit of both.
yeah, right. Um, that
Also, you know what else?
mm,
I was just thinking is, people have died, the insurances, we talked about this, right?
yeah, yeah.
How do you drop people? Like,
I
I
don't
don't
know.
understand. These people who have lost their homes have no homeowners insurance because insurance dropped them. What do you do, honest to God? What do you do?
I don't have an answer to that. All I can say is pray to God. I don't know.
I mean, if you're Joe Schmo, you and me, who doesn't have millions and bazillions of dollars, so let's
Right,
forget all those celebrities.
right,
If
right.
it's you or me and my house fucking burned up and I have nothing and my insurance was canceled, how do you start over? How? Tell me.
I can't. I don't know. You rely on the goodwill of others at that point.
Noel, but there's so many others that need help. There's not what goodwill?
I don't know. I don't know.
Where's that money coming from for these poor people?
I'm not sure.
They have no clothes, nothing.
No, nothing. No, no.
Even some people lost their cars as well.
Yeah.
Homes,
Right.
cars, everything.
No, absolutely everything. There's nothing. Yeah. I I don't know how you start over. I don't know. And typically, like I was saying, the goodwill of others, but you're right. Your neighbors who are usually, you're close to or your friends, they've lost it all too. So,
Right. No, when a bad thing happens, it like say somebody passes or whatever, it doesn't happen to your whole neighborhood.
right. So, and the Red Cross and places like that will be able to help
You're gonna be
somewhat.
stretched out,
Oh, I
stretched
can't.
so thin.
Yeah, I can't even imagine like how bad that their resources are. That just,
Yeah.
yeah.
I
I don't.
know there's distribution centers out there for food and clothing, but I'm sure they have to be so overwhelmed.
Oh, absolutely. There's not enough. I know I had seen that there were firefighters coming down from Canada and from other states, that they were helping, trying to come over and help. But if there's no water, how do they help? Maybe they're bringing tankers of water. I don't know.
Where are they going to get that from?
I don't know. Maybe Canada. I'm not sure. I don't know. At that point, I would be like, you know what? Take the salt water. It's got to be stopped because it's just going to keep continuing.
Yeah. Julie, have you seen anything about the smelts?
Melts? No, but I can look it up.
Yeah, look
Okay.
up smelts.
I want to know if that's a true story.
So
I
you
heard that on the news or something.
that they were putting clean water into the
The
ocean?
reserve water, they were like giving it for smelts or something so they could reproduce. I don't know. I heard it. I know I did. Look how white my hair is. I haven't had a color in a long time. See it?
All right, so it's a baseless claim that the water was set aside for Delta smelts.
Okay, I'm glad. I mean, I knew I heard it. I was like, oh,
And I thought smelts were salt water.
they are. I heard they were putting it in the ocean.
For what if they're saltwater fish?
I don't know.
That makes no sense.
It was for the smelts. No.
The damn smelts. It's all the smelts' fault. It's not the corruption, it's the smelts.
I said that to my mother because my brother likes it's part of the seven fishes,
Yeah, for
on
Christmas.
Christmas Eve. So we do smelts. And I said to my mother, oh, you can't get smelts anymore.
Well, um, maybe we can. I don't know. I was gonna say maybe we can post some stuff, some sites where people can donate to.
Yeah. Some
Um,
websites.
yeah, I just don't know who's reputable and who's not. So we'd have to look into that. I mean, places like the Red Cross and stuff, of course, but
I'm sure there's gotta be some things that are credible that we can post.
gotta be. So in any of those like GoFundMe right now, I wouldn't. I would not trust them
Same.
unless you
Same.
personally know that person. I would not trust them right now because people are taking advantage of others' goodwill.
Isn't
So
it sad though?
mhm,
People take advantage of
yeah,
your misfortune.
absolutely. It's I don't understand
I'm
Why?
gonna go on a tirade, I think, but how about those fuckers that claim they have cancer and then they do a GoFundMe and then they or whatever and they scam all the people out of all their money
Yeah, that's
or out of money.
yeah, it's absolutely
Why?
disgusting
Why? I don't understand. Get a fucking job at Dunkin' Donuts. I don't know. Why are you taking money? For me, my hard working money.
because they know that you'll do it.
God, it's
That's
not and
always
lie
been the
about
thing.
it.
I mean, think about it. It goes back to like even back, when they would, in whatever, in the beginning of time when they would sell a medicine, and it was just like alcohol
Oh,
because it made them
yeah.
feel better. You were taking your money, and these people were piss poor, but they didn't care. Then they would be gone.
You're
What
so right.
route?
The hair tonic to grow
Yeah,
your hair back.
yeah, right. Exactly.
Lies.
Yeah. So it's people have always done it. They've always taken advantage of it
It's
of
sad
people.
that there's always people been around to take advantage of you.
Yeah, I don't know why. Maybe I'm not sure. That's
Like that's a deep conversation to get into, to be
I know. I'm
honest.
like this
Think
is a
about it.
little
Like, how did
philosophical right
you
now.
become bad? Like,
Are you born that way, or does something happen to you?
I think both sometimes, right?
Could be.
I know I brought this up before, but I'm gonna say it again only because it's what we're talking about. So I watched a reality show about death row inmates, and I don't know how many guys they had on there. Let's say they had 10 guys that were on death row, 10 inmates, guys or women.
Yep.
And at least 8 of them came from a fucked up upbringing.
Well,
Fucked,
yeah.
got molested, the parents were druggies. I mean, it's just like you listen to what they're saying, and it's like they didn't stand a chance.
So, I
Sorry, that was my tirade.
no, that's okay. And I'm just trying to think of how to respond to that. Like, I get it. And you have a tough upbringing,
I know it doesn't mean you should kill somebody, but you had
right?
no direction to kind of
But I,
guide you, maybe, you know what I mean? You just
yeah,
got into that bad crowd and you just went down the ocean, went down.
yeah. I mean, that totally could be it. But you'd think that in your lifetime, where we live in a civilized country, that they would see good versus bad. And you would hope, I mean, maybe because I just always want to look at the good side of people, that that they would see that and go, maybe I'm not supposed to do that. Maybe that's not the
Break
right
the
thing to
cycle.
do. Yeah, because when you do something good, like Julie did today, it makes you feel good. You're not doing it to make yourself feel good. You're doing it to help someone else, but it makes you feel
But that's
good.
because you've had those good feelings. For someone that has never had any of that,
Yeah,
like, they just got
right.
the short end of the stick.
And maybe it is the easiest path for them, and that's the
And there
only
was no
path
one
that
to
they
pull them
see.
up.
Yeah, that very well could be.
Makes me feel bad.
I know it, me too. It really does. And I'm not saying that I had the easiest life, but I certainly did not have the hardest life either.
No, and you had a harder life than me, you know what I
Right.
mean?
But yeah, and I think that
And I always say you could have gone a different direction.
right, right.
You chose not to.
Right. And that was
I always
literally
have
a
said that.
choice. Yeah, it was literally a choice that I made because
Yeah.
I very could have gone the other way. And I was just like, you know what? No, that just doesn't feel right to me. I don't want to be that person. I like to feel good, you know? And I had an awesome bunch of friends. Yes, I did had wonderful friends and and family members too. So yeah, I lucked out. But you're right. If you don't even have that community behind you,
Right?
you know, um, I've I think because of how we grew up, I always said, I always looked at my kids' friends. And I was like, okay, if these are good kids, then I know my kid is a good kid. And kids are kids, they do stupid shit, they say stupid things, you get in trouble, whatever. But for all in all, if you can really tell who your kid is by who they hang out with.
I have to say, best when you're a parent, the best news you ever get is somebody coming up to you that maybe you know, maybe you don't know, but him comes up to you and says, "You know what? Your kid is so super sweet. Do
Yeah,
you know what they did?" Or, "Oh my God, I ran into your kid. They're so polite. They stopped and talked." Or it
right.
just makes you feel good.
It does.
You're like,
Right.
"Oh,
You're like,
okay."
oh, I did
Even
something
though they
right.
could be a shit ass to
Right.
you, you know you did something right and they're out there doing
Right.
what you taught them.
Right. Yeah. And they can be the little assholes at home as long as when they're out of the house, they're good and they're the good people that you taught them to be. So, yeah, I agree with that. So, you might be right. It's definitely part of it is definitely their environment for sure. So maybe that's what happens to these people is they don't know any better or they are taking the easy path or they're just choosing to not give a shit about other people and like it's all about me, me, me.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's really, and having all of that, and that's very traumatic, your home literally burning down and everything that you have, and then you're going to have these looters on top of it. It's just, when does it end? Oh, just so you know, Diana, I'm starting to use more tape on my forehead. I found
Yeah.
another way to
You
do
know
it.
what? The other tape's not working.
Shut up. It is working. I'm telling you. It's just going to take time. Just watch, watch. So,
Well, me and
this,
Julie get Botox and they're gone instantly.
no, I don't want to do that yet. Yet. But anyways, we talked about that last week. Um, so with this being the new year and people setting goals and all of this stuff, I don't typically I shouldn't say that. Let me back up. With this being the new year and people setting resolutions, I don't typically do that. I like to set goals, and I had a hard time trying to figure out why do I always want to set these goals? What is it about? And then I came to realize that think about what we did for 12, 14, 16, 18 years. We had school and we had tests, and tests were to tell you, okay, you reached your goal, this is what you were taught, this is how well you know it. And I think I've always stayed in that habit also with work too, with like reviews. It's always been a thing. Okay, I reached this milestone, I did or I didn't, and if I didn't, how do I get to it? So it's a little different when, for me, if I'm doing this for, I don't want to say someone else because school wasn't really for someone else, it was for me. But I wanted to make sure that I got good grades to show my parents, my grandparents, my teachers. You know what I mean? So I was kind of
Absolutely.
doing it for someone else. And then these fitness goals or these weight loss goals that I put in for myself, I'm like, some of them I hit, some of them I don't, because I think they're for me. And I need to figure out why the hell don't I want to do it for me? So the last few years doing the podcast and listening to all these other podcasts and doing a lot of researching, I think I've realized that it's I I've gotten better at it. So instead of like, okay, January 30th,
Putting
I'm
right.
going
And
to do this at this point. I'm like, well, it's okay if I push it to February. It's okay if I push it to March. So I don't know if is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Do you think, if I
well,
don't reach it, is do I is do you know what I'm trying to say?
yeah, so I feel like if you put yourself what's the word I'm looking for? If you make your goals too hard or not reachable,
Yeah,
unreachable,
yeah,
it's gonna frustrate you and set you back. Like, right? So, like,
Yeah,
I mean, I feel like so if you make a goal, okay, I'm gonna not have alcohol for the month.
right.
Now, I had a day when Jay and his friends were here that I had alcohol.
Hmm.
But instead of being like, oh fuck, what? I'm just might as well throw the whole month away because I
Right,
drank once.
right,
No, you know what? I'm gonna a blip, gonna restart. So I feel like if you don't set such hard goals, you'll be able to reach them and you'll feel good about it.
right. So I have to commend you because you've always said that if you didn't do something, like if you didn't lose the weight or whatever, you were like, fuck it, I'm done. So,
Yeah.
congratulations for not saying, fuck it, I'm just going to keep drinking. And coming into this year, I'm realizing I'm really coming into it with more experience than I have because of what we've been talking about and everything we've been doing the last couple of years.
I feel like, I mean, not only are we doing this, but it kind of is therapy for
Yep,
like our stuff that we need to figure out in our brain.
yep,
Like for you with your goals, like that's a thing you like to do.
yep,
But I feel like if you're gonna set them to a high standard, I can see you probably won't meet them. And I like to be able to help you and talk that out and say, hey,
right.
listen, scale it back a little. Or when you fall off, be able to pick you up and say, all right, well, scale it back a little.
Yeah.
You know?
No, and I definitely need that. And you've been doing that. So I set a goal and
Good.
you're gonna have to support me in this. So
I'm not.
I
I'm not a supporter.
I'm not doing like these crazy things. I always, because there's so much that I want to do, and I want
I
to
get
get so healthy. But so I've done the Muddy Princess the last couple of years. I'm still doing that again this year because I know I can do that. But because it's walking and it's fun. So I really, really, really want to run a 5K.
I
So
know that feeling.
yeah, I don't. Yeah, you do. You totally do. I don't care. I just want to do it once and say I did it. Whether I
Right.
love it, great, or I fucking hate it, whatever. So I signed up for one for April 12th. I
That's
do have
exciting.
yeah, I do have Dave coming with me. It's not that I don't want anyone else there. I want to run it. I don't want to have to think about anyone being there. I just need
You
him
don't
there.
have to organize anything. You
Right,
just
exactly.
go there and do your thing.
Right, just go there, do my thing. So I'm going to be training. If anyone wants to train along with me, I will be posting those trainings. So it's only going to be 3 times a week. And Diana, if I don't post, I need you to get on my ass and be like, hey, you didn't post,
Where's your
get your shit
post?
there. Yeah.
Okay. I'll hold you
So
accountable.
yeah, I brought it up because I saw that this past weekend was the Disney marathon, like 5K, 10K, and all of this stuff, and I was
What
like,
do they call that? They have a name if you run it all. The
the
Goofy.
dopey,
Is it just the Goofy?
dopey,
Dopey?
yeah, dopey. Goofy
Oh, okay.
is 20 miles, and dopey is everything.
Okay. Okay.
So I was like, looking at all the pictures, and I'm like, oh my gosh, they start some of these races at 4:30 in the morning, and you get to run through the park with no other guests there, and they have characters, and I'm just like, that looks so freaking awesome. So of
I
course
would
now
love to do that.
I'm
I
like my
would,
brain
we've always,
starts thinking.
we,
I'm like,
I
oh,
would,
I want to do this. I'm gonna go, and then I'm like, okay, tone it back
I
a
would,
little. Yeah, simmer down. So I was able to do that myself. I was very excited. And I was like, you know what? I think I can do this in 12 weeks. So I started looking for a race, and that was the one I found that was close to
good.
home. So yeah, I'm gonna do it.
So let's see if how this goes with you. Maybe we can look at doing something like that in Disney. I
That'd
mean,
be
I
cool.
always wanted to do a 5K. I wouldn't do anything more than that.
Okay.
Um, I just couldn't. I know I couldn't. I couldn't run for fucking 6 hours through
Oh
Disney Park
no, I
for the
don't want
marathon.
ever. I don't want to run a marathon. Hell no, no, thank you. No,
Yeah.
I. So do you remember in high school, like the first quarter was all in gym was always running, 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 running. You ran, you ran. I
I used to hate
hated
running
that
around
with
the
a
Jim.
fucking passion. Hated it. Why
Same.
I feel like I want to do that as an adult, I have no idea, but
I know.
it's just something I want to do.
It's just such an accomplishment to be able to say you ran a 5K and finished.
And you
It's gonna
ran
be
the
awesome.
whole
You're gonna
time,
be
right?
so proud of yourself.
You ran the whole 5K?
Yeah,
God,
twice I've done it. And then I ran one that was a little over a 5K.
wow. Good for you. Like
Yeah,
I can't even imagine. Can't.
that was it.
Yeah, but that's okay. Like my sister-in-law wanted to do a half marathon and she did the half Boston Marathon with the Heartbreak Hill.
Oh, really?
Yeah. And this was before she had the kids. And she ran it and she trained, she ran it, and she's like, okay, I'm done. And she hasn't run a day since.
Yeah, because she accomplished what she wanted to see if she could do. I
Right,
love it.
exactly. And I
Yeah,
said, I
same
asked her,
with
I said,
me.
would you ever want to do it again? She's like, no, it was something I wanted to do. I did it and I'm good. I'm like, all right, cool, I get it.
It's kind of really cool when you cross that finish line.
I can't even imagine because I know when I did the Muddy Princess, and that was, I didn't run at all. I just walked and did like, maybe 3/4 of the things. I was so freaking proud of myself. So I can't
Right?
imagine. Yeah, I'll probably cry.
Of course you will.
I know, right? Oh, well, that's kind of my little health update.
I'm
Yeah,
so excited for you. Congratulations. I'm proud
thank
of you.
you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate your support and your ass kicking too.
Yeah. Kick
All
your
right, so
ass.
that's it for me. Anything else you want to add for this week?
I don't think so. I think that's it.
All right. Well, BFFers, we're so glad that you joined us. And if
Remember,
yeah, go ahead, you do it.
it's better to have a friend with two chins.
Then two faces.
I can put
It's
it
the
in
way
my
you were
head.
gonna say.
I always
Oh,
say it backwards.
all right. We'll
Oh
see you
well.
next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, BFFers. We talk a lot about aging ungracefully on our podcast and are always looking at ways to improve our overall health.
One of the ways to do that is to purchase quality products that are high in nutrition.
Natural Food Exchange is passionate about providing you with the highest quality, natural, and organic products. They are dedicated to promoting a healthy lifestyle through a carefully curated selection of nutritious foods, supplements, and wellness products.
Check out Natural Food Exchange in person at 39 Pleasant Street, Unit 1A in Stoneham, or visit their website, naturalfoodexchange.com.
Get 15% off of your order when you use the code BFF15 or use the QR code on our website at www.lifesjourneywithbestfriends.com.
You've been listening to Life's Journey with Best Friends. For details on any of the things we've mentioned in the podcast, including photos, visit our website lifesjourneybff.com. You can also email us at lifesjourneybff@gmail.com or visit us on Facebook, Instagram, or Threads.
Remember, no matter where life takes you, you are never alone when you have a best friend by your side. Until next time.